Hello. Today we are talking about the first German consul and the first German consulate opened in Baghdad. That's to say, the first German embassy in Baghdad. And the consulate ambassador was nominated in a strange story and a precedent. The German embassy. The consulate was opened in Baghdad under strange conditions, and the consul ambassador was appointed by a strange history and by pure chance. Richard came from a wealthy noble family, living in Baghdad an ordinary life. The purpose of his stay in Baghdad was not known. The historian Ali al-Wardi asked about his presence here. Was he a tourist, a trader? No one knows. In 1894, this German national faced with a difficult and strange situation. An Iraqi family filed a complaint against him, alleging that he had sexually assaulted his son, who was a student at the school of the Carmelite Fathers. The story of the case spread in cafes and public places among Baghdadis, who were divided between those who supported the German and those who supported the Iraqi people. Al-Wardi indicates that this dispute caused a great rupture in Baghdadi street and social tension that divided it into two parts, and that it almost caused great societal repercussions. The German defended himself and said that the matter was personal and that the Carmelites hated him because he didn't refrain from eating meat and fat on Fridays, and that he organized dances and European holidays during the Lent period, and because he was also very rich and envied of that. He confirmed that he was innocent of this charge. After investigation, they discovered that the German's statements were true and that he was innocent of this accusation. The German government was unhappy with this defamation, which affected one of his nationals, and wanted to support him in his ordeal. So it appointed him Consul General of Germany in Baghdad. After the end of the crisis and this difficult ordeal, Richard became the first German consul in Baghdad and began to ride in his beautiful cart on the roads of Baghdad, greeting his colleagues and thanking them for their congratulations for the innocence and the new position. So let's stand with Richard and admit his innocence, since he was acquitted by the court. This means that he suffered until he proved his innocence, and that he stood in this predicament and faced it to come out of it more powerful, more important, and more respected in society, which means that he is like a grape when left under the strong sun becomes stronger and tastier. I found the story of the first German consul in the book of the historian Ali al-Wardi, which was based on the book of the French ambassador in Iraq, Pierre de Vaucel, Life in Iraq a Century Ago, seen by our consuls. Mr. de Vaucel held the post of French ambassador in Iraq in the 50s of the last century. The two spoke about homosexuality in Baghdad, but I choose to stay away from this topic for the fluidity of our subject. Vaucel's book is considered to be living pages of 19th century of Iraq, where he collected and compiled extracts from letters sent to the French Foreign Ministry by the French diplomats in Mosul, Baghdad, and Basra, providing through this a description of life at that time. His book has become an important reference for many historical and social books. I searched for Henry Richard, but sources are scarce, and I was pleased to know that he lived and worked here near Rashid Street and Shariat Sayyid Sultan Ali, where the German consulate So he worked on Iraq's most important economic project at that time, the Berlin-Baghdad Railway, better known by its German name, Baghdad Bahn. His appointment marks the start of German-Ottoman cooperation, part of an alliance that saw Germany secure a concession to build one of the country's most famous and controversial infrastructure projects in history. Some even consider it as one of the causes of the First World War. And the streets and walls of the ancient city of Baghdad continue to reveal other stories to us, to teach us lessons, and to let us smell its scent of the past. Ends the story of Richard, a German who lived and faced the difficulties, which, instead of weakening him, made him stronger and one of the eminent personalities of Baghdad. And the consulate, or the German embassy, like the embassy consulate of France, Russia, and England, were overlooking the Tigris River, and opposite were passing boats, sails, and ships. Goodbye.